All right, we'll finish off with Berto's Dolphins. Finished last in the AFC East, 5-11, which honestly is, if you told me week 4 that the Dolphins would finish 5-11, I would be like, whoa, because that was right after they were getting blown out, looked terrible. But they draft Tua, obviously, gonna be a franchise guy for them. They bring in running backs Matt Breida and Jordan Howard, which I like them as like Jordan Howard with the one, Breida with the speed guy. They bring in Kyle Van Noy, great linebacker out of New England. Bring in Byron Jones, Shaq Lawson. They try and help that defense. They're making moves, but you think they'll be able to piece it all together this year? Or is it going to be another year of waiting and tanking for more draft picks?
Oh, they're not going to tank. I think that the future is so bright for the Miami Dolphins. I think that with the key players they got this year, they're definitely going to try to make a push for it. I think they're going to definitely win more games than last year. They're going to be way more competitive in the division because right now I see the division wide open for anyone to grab. Maybe the Bills can really seal the deal, but the Dolphins had a huge offseason, incredible. Spent all that they had they led the NFL in the cap space in the beginning. They really utilized that money, brought in good players, and I'm really excited to see their defense next season. I think the defense is greatly going to improve, and I can't wait to see them play. So,
let me pause right here. I got breaking news on Henry Ruggs. His father came out and says he hurt his thigh during a move. So, like David said, a move, but it is his thigh injury. So yeah, that's Henry Ruggs.
So I'm gonna go with Berto on this one as well. And if you're gonna pick the over/under, I think they're gonna have a great year this year, comparatively to a great Miami year. I don't mean a great year. I mean a great Miami year. Then this pending, I know Berto and me were talking about this earlier, but it was pending that they expect Tua to be able to make the start. I read that off of Rashaport, whatever his name is, on ESPN. If he does make that start, I think you're seeing a team that could potentially make a little push in the division. I'm not saying at the Bills, but they could definitely get some wins under their belt. Big pickups, man. Byron Jones was a huge pickup. Like you said, Shaq Lawson. The defense is there as well. Then you got Gesicki, Devontae Parker, Albert Wilson. You got guys there. Yeah, you got people. I think offensive line is also going to be one of their issues. But we'll see what happens. I'm not expecting too much, but sometimes it's always best when you don't expect much because you'll be rewarded when they do something a little bit more than average. So I think we're seeing an 8-8, 7-9, but we'll see.
I think that's optimistic for them. I like what they've done. I just think if you start, we can debate about this another day, but I think if you start Tua week 1, he's having a worse season than Ryan Fitzpatrick could have, just because Fitzpatrick's such a veteran. You throw Tua into the fire, he doesn't know NFL defenses, he doesn't know NFL game plans. Ryan Fitzpatrick does. He's been in the league for 20 decades.
But the thing is it's Tagovailoa.
He's coming off an injury.
You're looking at the number 1 draft pick without the injury, and you're looking at
there is an injury.
No, I want to say something, but
Fitzpatrick.
Ryan Fitzpatrick in Chad O'Shea's offense has already played in it for 5 years with the Buffalo Bills and the Jets. He's 100% going to be the starter for week 1. I will put money on that. I think that he already
Miles Bramlett.
What?
Miles does not think. Miles thinks Tua starts week 1, 100%.
Really? No, I'll bet with him, and because Ryan Fitzpatrick's definitely getting the start. He knows the offense. He basically carried a team with no talent last year to 5 wins. He carried their team. I think he definitely gets to start week 1. I do think Tua is going to start later in the season, 100%.
Yeah,
I think that Ryan Fitzpatrick is old, and I don't know if his arm talent's there at his old age, because he did say that he hasn't been throwing much of the offseason because he wants to preserve his arm for the season. So, I think Ryan Fitzpatrick 100% could be the starter. And Tua might be better in training camp than Ryan Fitzpatrick, but Ryan Fitzpatrick definitely knows the system. And to prevent Tua from getting injured week 1, that'd be a tragedy. Ryan Fitzpatrick is starting.
I'm not with the Fitzpatrick here. I'm not Fitzmagic. I'm not any of that. And what you were saying earlier, he knows the offense. The defense. He can read the defenses. Well, if he could read the defenses, he wouldn't be on a journeyman team and not have any rings or anything like that. So I think if, God forbid, if Tua Tagovailoa is 100% healthy, doctors clear him for week 1, you start him, you let him see defenses early, you get him in the groove, and you sell some freaking tickets. The Dolphins need something, man. They have nothing there. They need some excitement, and Ryan Fitzpatrick is not that. You can say all you want, he's not that. If you bring Tua, and we're talking about would have been the first overall pick in the draft if he did not get injured. We're talking about a talent that we haven't seen in a while. One of the first lefty quarterbacks in a while as well. I think he's going to be the man, and I think it's foolish if they don't start him. If he's healthy. Now, if we see he's not 100%, I'm not putting him in there. But if he's 100% doctor cleared, I don't see why you would start Fitzpatrick over him, even to start the season. Because what you're doing basically, put all the BS aside, the Dolphins aren't going like 12-4. They're going to go mediocre season. So you might as well have Tua Tagovailoa see defenses and get in the groove and fill in. It's not like you're pushing for a playoff here. You just let him understand the defenses early so he can get all the help he needs to then next season he'll have all the experience he needs to play right away.
But I think he can get that experience just by watching Fitzpatrick. And you don't want to risk his health, which is a concern because he's been injured, regardless of whether he's 100% or not. You don't risk that health just to throw him in week 1 to see, what can he do for us? Maybe, we'll be like the Niners and we'll go from a top 3 drafting team, like the team drafting in the top 3 to, we're winning the division. I don't think you can start him. I think you got to wait till at least the second half.
Tua's still going to learn if he starts week 7. Tua's still going to learn NFL defenses.
I'm pending injury. That's the thing. I'm saying if he's 100% healthy, because you can play all this stuff where he hurt his hip. Even next year, you could say he's injury prone as well, because that could easily be changed back into another injury as well. I'm saying if he is 100% healthy, you don't not start him. And I know what you're saying. He can learn behind Fitzpatrick and learn the defense and all that crap. But you don't really learn it until you're thrown out in the fire having to figure out what to do on the field. And I think you have to put him out there, and I think you have to play him. And, you might see some struggles early, but, he's going to learn. He's a great player. He's a smart player. And he's a once-in-a-lifetime player for the Miami Dolphins. And he needs to play as much as he can to start off with if he's healthy. That's the key word. If he's 99.9%, you don't put him in. I'm saying doctor's cleared, everything's fine, 100%, he's ready to go. You do not put Fitzpatrick in game 1 ahead of him.
I just have to agree to disagree on that. You just see what you can do with a Mahomes, a talent like Mahomes. You see what he did. You sit for a year, you put him in, and he dominates. I'm not saying that'll happen with Tua, but I'm saying if you sit him, you at least give him the chance to learn more, not get hurt, breathe in the NFL. Not everyone's a quick learner. Like you see, like Kyler Murray, for example, he started, what week did he start? He started week 1 though.
He started, pretty sure.
I think he started maybe he started like week 2 or something.
Pretty sure he started week 1.
Yeah, he might have started week 1. Yeah, he did start week 1.
And he had a great season, right?
He had a great season.
No, but he was struggling though.
He struggled early on.
The Cardinals
he figured out how to get better, but
that's what I'm saying. The Cardinals offense and team is like the Cardinals. The Dolphins are like the Cardinals. You're not going to see the 7 or you're not going to see 10-6 the Miami Dolphins. You're going to see you're going to see, a 5-11, 4-12, maybe 6-10 season. So you just got to put him in there, man, and just let him work and understand defenses and let him play so he gets the experience he needs. And we're talking about Mahomes was different, man. He was behind a Pro Bowl quarterback for a year.
Fair, but I think
You're not going to start Mahomes if you got, Smith in there. Like, you're not going to.
I think the Dolphins are fine with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Like Berto said, he won so many games for him last year with nothing around him. Now that he's got talent, they might as well just let him fool around for the first half of the season.
With Fitzpatrick, I'm telling you that right now.
Quarterback.
I'm telling you that right now. They're wasting players' games with an aging quarterback who won't be there next year. That's what they're doing.
No, Ryan Fitzpatrick could totally win now. That's all I can say.
He's not winning now. He won't win now.
Did you see him last year? He carried the team to 4 wins, basically.
Yeah, some of those games, he was having no help from the defense, very little help from wide receivers who could barely catch. No run game, no offensive line. He's just running across the field, throwing it 50 yards.
He was the leading rusher on the team last year. Ryan Fitzpatrick, the leading rusher last year. That's crazy.
I don't want to take anything too far away from Fitzpatrick because he did do well last year, and he's a great player, and he's been a journeyman, and he's done things at other areas. But Tua is a generational player for the Miami Dolphins, and if I was a fan of the Dolphins and he was 100% healthy and they didn't start in game 1, I would be mad. Tickets going down. You got to
be able to sell tickets anyway.
Yeah.
They aren't even going to be able to.
You're going to buy two. Did you see this? Did you see this guy getting season tickets when Kyler Murray was announced starter for the Cardinals? It went way up.
Was there a global pandemic when Kyler Murray was announced as starter?
You telling me people aren't going to want to go watch Tua Tagovailoa, whatever?
They don't want to, but they won't be able to.
Man, I just don't. I don't see it, man. The Dolphins, I don't see it. You got to start Tua if he's healthy.
All right.
But did you